What's up, y'all? How are y'all doing? This is Rising My God, and I'm back with another video. If y'all are new to the channel, I do lifestyle rearrangement content, and the topic of today's video is money will no longer be a problem if you use the system. Find a source of funding such as trading, investing, a 9 to 5, a summer job, and or some type of side hustle. This money is only to be used to double or triple your finances, making more money. Make your profit range from $500 to $10,000. Use this profit to buy solids that appreciate in value, such as real estate, land, electronics, or car parts. Electronics is in specifics are like chips and things of that nature, but things to make electronics, right? Electronic or car parts, gold or silver. These things as solids and not as stocks will appreciate in their value and will always hold the same value. Okay. So lots of people have been having problems with money lately, whether it's saving money, getting money in general, or just them not. So let's say, right, somebody works a 9 to 5 job, right? You have somebody, they work a 9 to 5 job, they just go blow all their money. Or they have their money, they don't know what to spend it on, and so they just go and blow it everywhere, just getting random stuff, right? But you don't have to do that, right? You get real estate, you could get electronic parts, you could get parts for phones, you could get car parts, you could get gold and silver. The most important, I'll give you 3 assets that are the most important out of that list. Matter of fact, 4. You got gold, silver, real estate, and electronic parts. Those are the 4 most important amenities out of what I read. Let me tell you why. Silver is appreciating in its value, right? It's skyrocketing right now. Gold stays the same, like its value stays the same. So all it did was it gave room for silver to appreciate in value. So instead of buying stupid stuff, like just to say you bought it or just to buy it, make sure you find somewhere you could buy real silver, like silver coins, silver plates, gold bars, gold plates, gold coins. Find places where you could get these things. Real estate, you could go on Zillow. You could buy land. You could buy houses. You could buy apartments. You could buy them. I would rather you buy, if you get a house or something, I would rather you buy it. Same thing with an apartment, but you don't buy apartments, so just scratch that. Houses, land. You can get that off Zillow. Buy land off Zillow. Land off Zillow, you, depending on how many acres you want, could be from a range of like $6,000 to, it could go far, right? But land does not cost that much money. Compared to the amount of money that the average human being spends just in general, just to live, is like, for that you could save up your money if you're not getting that type of money where it's like, okay, the paycheck hit, oh yeah, I got $6,000. Because, obviously, I'm talking about for people with multiple streams of income. They have their, like traders, they could get $6,000 in a day. You just work a regular 9 to 5, you might have to save up, right? Real estate, go on Zillow, you could get land for a certain price. You don't need nothing too big, too fancy. You need something, if you want one without trees, you could also find some without trees, and you want one with trees, you could find some with trees. Trees provide oxygen, so that's great. Cut down a few of those to make space for a house or a road, and you'll be good. You know what I'm saying? You got a farm, you got a stable, just find different ways to for your money to appreciate in value, right? So the silver is only going up from here. The gold will stay at same value. Real estate appreciates in value. When the stock market goes down, people don't usually have enough money to buy certain things regarding real estate. So that's where the issue lies. If people had money to buy certain things from real estate, a lot of people would have money, but nobody's thinking about that. Everybody's thinking about getting stupid stuff. A whole bunch of, nonsense that's Not necessarily. You just don't need to do. You're buying a whole bunch of excess clothes and excess shoes that you don't need. Certain things you just don't need. So real estate, gold, silver, electronic parts. Electronic parts and chips are very important because when things are not, because here's the thing, right? AI takes over. You gotta know how to build. You gotta know how to build. You know what I'm saying? You have the parts. You have a person that knows how to put a phone together. Let's say, matter of fact, no, I'll use this. This is a perfect example. Let's say something happens, another pandemic or something comes up, right? And people, let's say phones are not really in style that much anymore. Like, not that they aren't popular, like they're rare. They're rare to buy. Like they're rare, like you can't find them anywhere, right? You have the electronic parts. You got somebody who could build phones, or you know how to build phones. Get the electronic parts. Those will be rare at some point in time. When you don't have access to be able to buy phones, and only the rich, because at a certain point, I have a feeling that the rich are the only people that will have access to actual mobile phones. Or you need a separate type of phone because the government may take over your phone. So you may need a separate type of phone. Like a phone that doesn't have all of the tracking and all of that stuff like that. And how can I say it? Where they could like find your search history, things like that, right? So you may need a separate phone. So if you have somebody that could build phones, or you could build a phone, you need to keep those electronic parts. And even if you don't, just keep them anyway, because you could possibly sell them in the future. There's a possibility they might skyrocket, at a certain point. Now with the real estate, like I said, you could go on Zillow, buy houses, buy land. Land is cheap. It's not going to cost you that much money. A house, you don't necessarily need the best house in the world. You just need to know how the basics of building. You go to class. There are classes for that, and you could get your real estate license and all of that stuff, and you can learn how to do certain things, like how to build and all of that. So, and certain things you can learn off of social media. Y'all are using social media for the wrong thing. Social media is used for the people that use it the correct way. Is supposed to be used for your knowledge, so that when things go on, you're not stuck, right? So real estate, land is cheap. We all know real estate will always appreciate in value, if nothing else. A lot of rich people, a lot of millionaires, billionaires, trillionaires, even people that don't have that much money, buying up real estate because you need real estate. If there's nothing else you will ever need, real estate, right? Silver, as I said, it's appreciating value. You might want to get yourself some silver before you're not able to get silver anymore, right? Gold is going to stay the same price for, it holds its value. It's as simple as that. So if you buy $6,000 worth of gold today, it will be worth $6,000 in the future. It holds its value. It's not like cash that the government can easily say, oh yeah, well, we're not using cash anymore, we're using cards. It's not like that. You keep it, you have it. Net worth goes up. Look, you got money. So if anything happens, it's not to just spend on stupid stuff. If anything happens, you'll have the gold. Got the silver, don't spend the silver neither. Keep those in there. When it's time to use them. But that's when everything is scarce. Like, I mean, pandemic scarce. Like, when things are pandemic scarce, that's when you use those things. And if you don't have to, don't use them. Keep them there. Let them appreciate in their value. Real estate, if you rebuild on the land that you bought, it's only going to go up. The value of the land and the houses are only going to go up if you build on the land, right? So if you bought a house, if you make the house look better, you renovate it in some way, that land and that house goes up in value. So yeah, it's like, do that stuff. And then car parts. Car parts are important because if you don't have access to a car, you could build them. You got somebody that knows how to build cars, boom. And there's people who are in Africa and India and places like that, Southern Asia, that know how to build cars from scratch. And some of them didn't need a whole bunch of car parts. Needed some wood, needed to know how to shape. Like, there's like a, how can I say it? It's like some type of saw, right, that you use. I don't know exactly what it's called. But, yeah, like, you shear down the wood, you build it, you got yourself a nice car. There's people in India, you know what I'm saying, that could do that. There's people in Africa that know how to do that. People all around the world know how to do stuff like that. So you have a few car parts, like an engine, things of that nature, you'll be good. So real estate, gold, silver, car parts, and electronic parts. Simple as that. Those things will appreciate in value, and when it gets to a certain point where things get scarce, it'll be easier for you to, to afford your living. That's all it is. You want the easiest way to keep your money, you want the easiest way to get rich. This is not necessarily a get rich quick scheme. It takes time, but it doesn't take that much time. Either way, you're gonna end up with money of some sort. So buy the gold, buy the silver, get the real estate, buy the car parts, buy the electronic parts. Those are the things that are going to go up in value, and those are the amenities that you definitely need. These are things that you definitely need. You definitely need them. This is not a, oh yeah, well, I'll just buy it. You need these things. So when they say, if they do, or if cash is already not worth its original value, right? So if they say one day, God forbid, they're like, okay, yo, you can't use cash no more, guess what you have? Gold, silver, electronic parts, real estate. And people are always buying real estate, so you will never have a problem selling real estate. If you sell it, you will never have a problem selling real estate, because people are always, specifically millionaires, billionaires, and people that have money or a good rep, they're always looking for real estate. Always looking for real estate. So get your gold, get your silver, get your electronic parts, get your car parts. The reason you get your car parts is because you got somebody that can build the car. You can build the car. And there are videos on YouTube where you can watch people build cars. You want to learn how to build a car? Go on YouTube and find out how to build a car if you don't know how, right? Car parts can also be sold as well. They appreciate about you always need car parts. Depending on the situation, obviously electric cars may be the thing, but at least if you have it, you'll be good, right? So you want a way to keep your money and for it to stay. You want to have your money, you want it to stay, and you want it to grow. This is for you. Real estate, gold, silver, electronic parts, and car parts. Those are the 5 things you need in order for your money to grow or for it to stay at the same value. So you could go and you spend your cash after you buy these things. Go spend your cash, but don't overdo it, right? Because these things are not necessarily to be used in regular grocery stores. You go to the supermarket, I don't think they're going to know the value of those things. You go in there, no, that's not for that. That's to keep and save for when everything is scarce. When I say everything is scarce, when I mean you literally can't get nothing. You can't afford anything. Like when you can't afford nothing, that's when you buy stuff. When people are buying a whole bunch of toilet paper, ingredients, bread, and water, and all of that stuff is gone. And really, technically, depending on the situation, don't touch that for that either, but it depends on how bad your situation is. But get these things just for them to stay. for real estate, you can make these things look better, and they'll appreciate in value. Thank you guys for listening. Hope you guys take my advice, and I'll see you guys in another video.